Owlcat Games has revealed a new Warhammer 40K CRPG, Dark Heresy. It was shown at the Warhammer Skulls event just a few days ago. Now, following the success of Rogue Trader, this game promises a fresh take on the grimdark universe, so I've done a little bit of research. Let's break down how Dark Heresy differs from Rogue Trader across setting, gameplay, and more. First, the setting and your role. Rogue Trader places you in the Koronus Expanse, a vast, uncharted region of space. As a Rogue Trader, you command a massive void ship and explore multiple planets, dealing with noble houses and balancing trade with combat in the entire adventure. Dark Heresy shifts focus to the Calixis Sector, a shadowy region of the Imperium. You're an Inquisitor investigating heresy on a single planet with diverse biomes. Your ship is smaller, a lot smaller than a void ship. Think like the Ebon Hawk from Knights of the Old Republic. And the emphasis is on rooting out corruption, not building a trade empire or, going across the galaxy. It's a tighter, more focused experience centered on the Inquisition's mission. And with that is the gameplay focus sets these games apart the most. Rogue Trader, like I said, is built around exploration and management. You navigate the Koronus Expanse, engage in space combat, and oversee your trade empire, blending combat, diplomacy. There's lots of ship customization. It's really cool. But Dark Heresy is going to prioritize investigation. As an Inquisitor, you're going to uncover conspiracies, interrogate suspects, and piece together clues through a deep investigative system, drawing inspiration from games like Pentiment. There are no right answers, just tough, morally gray choices. Unlike Rogue Trader's open-ended exploration, Dark Heresy keeps you grounded, hunting heretics in the shadows of a single world. So both games feature turn-based combat, but the mechanics are gonna diverge. Rogue Trader uses a momentum system that rewards aggressive play, often pitting you against overwhelming odds like a 3-to-1 enemy ratios. Space combat adds a strategic layer, letting you command your void ship in battle, but Dark Heresy reworks the formula. The momentum system is replaced with a new morale system, allowing you to intimidate enemies into surrendering or fleeing or even turning on each other, which is pretty cool. Cover and line of sight mechanics are overhauled, and new character abilities make battles more tactical. Space combat is not going to be in the game, with the focus going to be on ground-based puzzle-like encounters where morale management is key. Now onto the companions and party. Your party composition reflects each game's tone. In Rogue Trader, companions are tailored to your role as a Rogue Trader. You get a loyal melee fighter, you get a sniper, you get a tech priest, and all in all, your companions represent the Imperium's factions, which fits your, journey across that galaxy. Now, Dark Heresy's warband is designed for an Inquisitor's mission. So you're gonna have a Guardsman that brings brute force, you're gonna have a mercenary that excels at tracking, and you're gonna have a Corsair that adds speed to your group. Each companion offers unique gameplay and fully voiced dialogue, forming a group of misfits that are united by the Inquisition's cause. So it's a pretty big contrast to Rogue Trader's more formal crew. Now, for the narrative and story choices, both games are story-driven, but their narratives differ, obviously. Rogue Trader uses a ternary morality system, so iconoclast, dogmatic, or heretical. It's a dystopian epic where there are no good choices, just shades of bad, pretty much. Now, Dark Heresy introduces a radical traditionalist spectrum, reflecting your approach as an Inquisitor. So will you uphold the Emperor's puritanical laws, or will you take a pragmatic, radical path? The story dives deeper into the Inquisition's bureaucracy and moral ambiguity, with choices that blur the line between salvation and damnation. It's a more focused, morally complex tale compared to Rogue Trader's sprawling narrative, which is pretty cool. I feel like Rogue Trader did a lot of things really well with its story. I think it's an amazing game, but kind of having like a switch from that to more of a grounded, story-focused, smaller setting kind of, I think is a really good decision that Owlcat Games made. Now, on co-op and voice acting. So I tried looking at all these different pages and stuff to get information, and I couldn't really find anything that said there was any co-op in this. They didn't announce co-op in the trailer, and I haven't seen anybody report on it. There is a chance that the co-op could be something that's added in, or it could be something they show off later. But from everything I've seen, pretty much everyone's saying it's a single player game, but I don't know if that's confirmed. So I could be wrong about the co-op aspect, but as far as I know, a key difference lies in the co-op and voicing. So Rogue Trader supports 6-player co-op, obviously, letting you explore with your friends, but Dark Heresy, from what I've seen, drops co-op for single player focus, but steps up immersion with fully voiced dialogue, a leap from Rogue Trader's partial voicing, making every conversation more cinematic. Now, the good thing about this is I love Rogue Trader. I love the game. I played it well after the prologue, but I'm not gonna lie, that change from going from fully main cast voice acting to just they barely have any voice lines and it's all reading, and there's a lot of reading. It is a big change. Obviously, a lot of people did get turned off from that. Now, I could still play. I could still, kind of go through it, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a little bit of a change I had to get used to, But it does make you appreciate the times when it does have voice acting. It's very important and you have to pay attention. But as far as like immersion goes, with fully voiced dialogue, that's going to be really nice to get from this type of universe because, voice acting in Warhammer games are just always top tier. So the fact that we're going to get a CRPG game where every character is going to be voice acted, at least all the main players are going to be voice acted, that's going to be awesome, and I think it's a very welcome change. If that means they have to make it more grounded and story focused and not as ambitious as Rogue Trader was, to have more immersion and better story, I guess, because when you do have full voice acting, it just hits different. But so far, that's pretty much everything I've been able to come up with on the differences between Dark Heresy and Rogue Trader. So Dark Heresy just trades Rogue Trader's galaxy-spanning adventure for a gritty, investigation-driven experience as an Inquisitor. With the new morale system in combat, a focused narrative, and a deep dive into the Inquisition. It's a fresh take on the Warhammer universe, and I am extremely excited. I'm also excited for the new DLC for Rogue Trader. They also came out and announced that because Owlcat is they're doing a lot, they're going full force, and I really enjoy their games. I like Pathfinder, just like Rogue Trader, it's there's so much stuff to do, and there's so many different outcomes, and to kind of just do everything in one playthrough, it's 100+ hours. So even though they're saying this is an 80+ hour adventure, compare that to Rogue Trader, where before the DLC, it was 100+ just as the base game. So it's gonna be a little shorter. It's not gonna be as expansive, maybe not as ambitious as far as a narrative structure, but that's good. You don't need to have all these insane systems in place to have a good CRPG or tell a good story or have good lore. You can have all that and kind of go more back to basics, and that's kind of what they're doing. They're one planet, no space combat, a smaller ship, but a very interesting setting and a change to combat. So it's going to be different enough to where you're not feeling like you're playing the same game, but you're also experiencing the same universe and you're getting a better immersive experience altogether. So I'm really hyped. I'm super excited for this. I love CRPGs, but let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like CRPGs? Do you like Warhammer? Did you look at any of the other stuff? They announced a ton of stuff, by the way. It wasn't just this. If you are interested in Warhammer, it's a really good time to kind of get into the universe. There's so many games that have come out. There's so many, they're making remasters for all this different stuff. So what do you guys think about all that? Have you checked it out? Do you like Space Marine? Do you like Rogue Trader? Do you like CRPGs? Do you like Owlcat Games? I think this is a very good time for RPGs. We're getting a lot of great experiences and great titles, and the fact that we're getting a new Owlcat CRPG from the Warhammer universe is awesome. I didn't even think they were going to do that. I thought they were going to just keep doing DLCs for Rogue Trader, and then they're going to do Rogue Trader 2. So I'm excited, but let me know what you think, and let me know what you think about this type of video. I know we do a lot of different types of videos on this channel, but I just kind of wanted to talk about this, and I didn't really see anybody comparing the differences between the two. Be on the lookout for more content. If you enjoyed this video or you learned something, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your dog, share it with your stepsister, share it with your mom, you know, especially your mama. And be sure to check out my other videos in the future. Check out my Bungie video, check out my Let's Plays, man. We be playing Fallout New Vegas and lots of stuff, man. Lots of goodies for you. And if you're cool, join the Discord below. And in the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your night, and I'll see you all later.